Woo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie Day. So, today I'm bringing you a beautiful piece of lime green right here. So, I have a Schrade Entice Auto folder in front of us. This is a 2022 edition. I am insanely excited about this knife. You'll notice right here, I know it's backwards, it says Alpha Class. That means this is their top stuff. This is all made in America, and just awesome. It's premium handle and blade materials along with aggressive styling and exclusively made in America. They have really cool stuff on their web. I have to say, Schrade, a lot of people associate Schrade with just the stuff like you get at Walmart, like the old timer and Uncle Henry stuff. If you actually go to Schrade's website, that stuff's not even on their website. Schrade is a really good knife company. I brought you some dropped forge hollow handle stuff before that was fantastic. I brought you a few of their fixed blades, fantastic. But I have not been able to bring you until now one of their Alpha Series blades, and I am stoked for this. But these guys know how to do a website. They do it right. Just besides the fact that they have really good pictures, really good videos, great descriptions, like they do everything right. But they even have like cool things. They put proudly made in USA, the Entice push button, member of the Schrade Alpha class, designed for those who cut everything but corners. I actually like that. I like the way they present it. I think is really, really good. The packaging is beautiful. This is a really, really nice package all the way around the board. It is a sweet, sweet piece. Then you open and it says, welcome to the pack right across. I know it's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but it really does say it says welcome to the pack right there, which is awesome. You open it up and inside of the felt-lined box, or like that, not felt-lined, but like a, I don't know, it's like just a nice soft material. You get a bag. So not only is it cushioned, very, very well cushioned, styrofoamed, or not styrofoamed, foamed, it still comes in a protective bag, which is always very nice. But I'm going to put that little protective bag back in the box. Back in the box. And close it up. So here it is, man. Here it is. This is the Entice Auto. This is a great looking knife. It is absolutely beautiful. It's got great opening. It's a good looking design. You have a nice finger well right here. Everything about it, it just screams comfort. You have this little tiny lift right here. And something like that goes usually unrecognized until it's in the hand. It's a great, great design area where I can press my thumb here, and that right there just absolutely locks me into this grip. It is fantastic. You have a lock here to prevent accidental opening. So if I have that going there, I press the button, nothing happens. So I unlock it, and then there's that. If I lock it again, I can't close it. So there's no accidental opening, no accidental closing. It's ambidextrous, easy to use, both hands, deep pocket clip. It is just stunning, I think. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful knife. They did a crazy, crazy good job with this. Let's get into the specs. We're going to take it outside and we are going to cut. And I can tell you right now, this thing is going to be heavily put into my rotation. Now, I'm a big fan of autos and a big fan of anything like even OTF's autos. Anything you press a button to get a knife open, I am digging it. I have some super high quality autos as it is. Now you saw that one, how it opened. It opened kind of slow, but it's a super high quality knife. I always forget the name. It's the Wraith. I always forget the name of this one, but really, really beautiful knife. Very, very expensive. Gets the job done. Does it every time, anytime. That is a very nice knife. I even have, if I could get it out of the straps here. Now this one pops extra hard. The only problem with a knife that pops extra hard, and this is an original MOD before they sold the company. This is a Masters of Defense knife. It snaps open, and if you don't have a good grip, it'll fly out this way on you because of the impact. Because you can't open it with your hands here to hold it steady. You have to, on an auto, you have to keep your hands clear of that. But you see how the tail kicks out? This is a phenomenal knife. And I have to say, this one I like better. This one was like a $400 blade. This one is half the price. I like this one better than the MOD. All right, let me put that away. All right, so those are two of my favorites. I have another one in there that just is more of a budget piece that I've had for years that I actually love. But this one I'm liking better. I really love this design. I really love the comfort. I love the size. Speaking of the size, let's get into the specs. So the blade steel is S35VN. Awesome. Blade shape is bayonet. The grind is hollow, and it is a fine hollow grind. It doesn't scoop in so much that I think I'm going to have to worry about blade chipping, things like that. The hollow grind on this feels nice and smooth. It's not too deep, which means you're going to get an amazing cutter for a long time. It's going to be able to cut, but it's still going to be strong in the center where you want it. The blade finish is black oxide. Don't have to worry about rust. Blade thickness in inches is 0.125. So I'm guessing that's around 2 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters, somewhere in there. Handle thickness is a 1/2 inch. The handle material is aluminum. It is black. It is only 3.5 ounces. Really, really great weight. It is a push button. The blade length is 3.5 inches. The overall length is 8 inches. I'm going to put a link down below to this knife on their website so you can check it out. Really take it in. Soak in this website because they do a fantastic job of displaying their product. And we are going to go do a fantastic job. Let's see. Overall sharpness out of the box. Yeah, that is 100% shave. That is a razor blade. That is a razor blade. That's a super sharp knife. The swedging is beautiful. It's unsharpened on the swedge, obviously. And let's take a look at it outside. Woo! This thing is Hollywood starlet good looking. That's a beautiful, beautiful knife. Just all the way around the board, front to back. Got a really good sized lanyard hole in there. This is divinity. Oh, I love it. All right, so we're gonna do an impact test. Now with a hollow grind especially, you don't want to generally hit your blade too hard and smash it on things, but I have confidence in this piece right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to test the puncture, the depth it can get, and how strong it is. See if it's going to close. I'm going to leave it unlocked. See if it'll close on its own or get any wobble just from a couple of hard impacts. And first one I'm going to miss on purpose to show you what it looks like in the dirt. Oh, you see that boing, boing, boing? That's a nice hard hit. And when it goes boing, 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 that means you're putting a lot of stress right there on the pivot. And there is zero loosening. And you can actually see because I missed on purpose on the first one. That's what I did. I missed on purpose so I can get some dirt on it so you can see how deep it went. And that's actually really, really nice. We'll do that one more time. Bam, that is solid. That is solid. Ugh. So we're looking at about a 1/2 inch of depth. And that is crazy, crazy good. Let's get all that dirt on there. All that's on that dirt on there, off of there. So we see that it had no accidental closing, anything like that. We want to make sure that it's still going to function, and it's still going to function. Just a nice piece. There is no wiggle wobble in there. That's actually pretty solid. This feels great. All right, let's get some work in here. So I'm going to start by trying a push cut. I'm going to need a better board eventually. There's so many holes in this thing when I do push cuts. Sometimes they fall into the cracks. All right, I got it just like that. I got all the way through on a single push cut. You can see how smooth it is. And then that last little bit pushes right inside one of these grooves. But the push cut is there on the small rope. Now we're going to try it on the big rope. And right there, look how smooth that is. That's a big fat rope. That's an easy cut. That is incredibly smooth. We're going to try the garden hose. Remember, that's 2 layers of nylon, 2 layers of rubber. And we are going to see how absolutely smooth it is. Let's do a rip cut. And you can see how perfect that edge is. There are no fraying fibers on there. When there's a jagged edge or it's a dull edge, what'll happen is these little fibers will just tear out. That was incredibly smooth. Let's finish off the rip, and that is perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a nice twist. We're going to have a lot more material to cut through, and we are going to test. Woo, that is beautiful. So now we have a whole lot of material here. Let's see if we can't get a nice cut on there. I'm going to have to saw through on that. That's a lot of material, and it is no problem. No problem. Let's take some of this hard hose. This stuff is sun-dried here in Arizona and just dangerous for cutting, because if you have a bad blade, it's going to skate off of this hard material and you're going to lose a finger. So we're going to try not to lose any fingers here, because I actually kind of like my fingers. But you can see this blade is cutting straight through that hard material, and it's doing it with ease. I'm going really slow, so it makes it look like it's hard, but I'm going slow because I don't want that to, I already did. So I don't want to do that again. But that is really nice. Let's go here. Oh, that's edge geometry right there. Now I'm getting really beautiful, nice little curls right here. So, and the wood is like this, so it's breaking in different spots. But let's try and get some swoops first, just by manipulating the angle. And now we can curl underneath. So, I mean, if you are in a camp situation, you're out hiking, and you need fire, look at all that, man. You're going to get a nest done so easily with this guy. And that is absolutely awesome, because you never know what's going to be on you when you need a knife. And if I'm on the road and I have a breakdown in the middle of the desert and I'm going to be there for a day because nobody's driving by, I might need to make that fire, and I'm going to need a knife that I know can do it. And if I can get myself some proper bird's nests going, some proper fluff, man, this knife is going to do it. So it's going to be a blade that can keep me alive. I can get fires going. I know I can use it to, let's make a little notch here. I can use it to make myself any kind of camp situational needs. So you can see I can notch with it, which means I can carve with it. Let's turn that into a square notch. So let's say I wanted to put 2 pieces of wood together to, if I'm building some kind of building some kind of chair or anything like that, being able to notch out wood, make a nice little square notch there, and just be able to work the blade. And it's a hollow grind too. So I had no problems wiggling my edge into there. I had no fear that I was going to break this because the heat treat on these is really well done. Schrade, especially their made in America stuff, it's just beautiful, is just fantastic. When it comes to heat treats, they know what they're doing. Let's see, it's not a chopper, but we're going to chop with it. Let's see. The reason I'm doing this, two things. One, it's a great way to make small fluff for when you're doing fires. Two, it's a great way to just chisel out some of the wood. If you plan on carving down to a tip, getting rid of some of that heavy stuff first, what it does is it buries it in there and it gives you a really good starting point. So if you need to make spears and arrows and pit spikes and things like that, you'll be able to carve down that wood to make a really nice tip, and that's just gonna save you some time. So now if you're able to make yourself a spear, an arrow, or anything like that, and you can land yourself a duck or a squirrel or something that you're going to need to survive on, are you going to be able to skin with it? That's a big question. So here we have leather, mesh, rubber, so a good basketball, leather basketball. So what we're going to do is, oh my gosh, that went through before I even asked it to. That was beautiful. So now we have this nice leather strip. I already know now it can go through leather. It can take down hide. So, oh, golly, that is nice. That is nice. I had that nice pop when you push down and it's so sharp it just pops away the material. I'm going to go the long way and see if I can cut it without having it flap over and fold. And all the way through, no problem. For that to happen, you need a very sharp edge. This is a very sharp edge. I gotta say, man, this thing is impressive. This thing is impressive. So now let's make sure, with all the debris that's in there and the cutting and the banging, we got operation. And is it going to close on me? No. This thing is wonderful. I am absolutely digging this knife. It's fan-freaking-tastic. So, what do I think about the Schrade Entice? Man, this thing's a beauty. This thing is an absolute beauty. Can I recommend it? 150%. The Schrade Made in America Alpha Series stuff is 100% worth the pocket carry, I'll tell you that. This is a badass knife. So, don't believe me, check one out for yourself. Go to the link below, follow the link below, give it a look. Man, you won't be disappointed. That's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.